Mercedes Moné has given a heartfelt connection. And when I saw this, I knew I had to instantly talk about it. Look, Mercedes Moné, in May of 2022, she and Naomi opted to walk out of WWE due to a creative difference, frustration, if you will, with Vince McMahon at a time in which they were the face of the women's tag team division. They were tag team champions and they had big plans for them. But WWE, Naomi, and Mercedes Moné ultimately agreed that they should part ways. So Moné and Naomi, they parted ways. Naomi went to TNA Wrestling. Mercedes Moné went to New Japan Pro Wrestling. With rumors and reports swirling, Moné was absent from the wrestling world until she showed up in New Japan at Wrestle Kingdom 17 in January of 2023. Now, before her going to Wrestle Kingdom, before her signing with New Japan, there was an absolute moment. It would have been a bombshell moment for wrestling fans if she had opted to do so. We'll get to that in a minute. But when she went to New Japan, Mercedes Moné became the face of the women's division. She was selected to be the inaugural women's champion. And that was something in which she wanted. So she was women's champion. She was supposed to be the inaugural New Japan Strong Women's Champion. Now, she got injured in a match with Willow Nightingale, was sidelined, and missed the remainder of 2023. Fast forward 2024, she opts to go to AEW, All Elite Wrestling, spearheaded by Tony Khan. Now, that is not to say that she was not interested in going back to WWE. She absolutely was, because Moné has confirmed multiple reports that she continuously went back and forth between WWE and AEW in contract talks. She wanted to hear what Triple H had to say, and she wanted to hear what Tony Khan had to say, and so they went back and forth, and she ultimately decided to go with AEW, whether that would be the schedule, which is a little bit more reduced than WWE, or the big money contract. Now, she's reportedly rumored to be the highest paid female talent in all of pro wrestling. Some people say she is well deserved for that. Some people will say that she's just absolutely overrated and she doesn't deserve that kind of payday. But regardless, Tony Khan felt that she was necessary to his women's division, and that's what ultimately happened. Now, this confession is this. In between her time from WWE to her time that she showed up in New Japan, she opted to go forward with her wrestling career, but she considered leaving wrestling behind once and for all. Because while chatting on a recent podcast with Katie Sackhoff, she revealed that she did consider stepping away full time from the world of pro wrestling. And this is what she had to say. I did, because of how hurt I was by it and how much it drove me into a place of darkness, I couldn't believe something that brought me so much light in my life, that saved me so many times when I was a kid, brought me so much darkness. I was just like, I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to have so much stress where I legit keep killing myself because of all the stress I'm creating on this sadness that I'm bringing to myself because of this bad mental talk in my head. So just a lot of healing. And I told myself, no, this is still what I freaking love. I love wrestling, and I still have the same goal of when I was 10 years old, and no one was going to take that away. I felt at this time maybe they want to see me gone forever. Maybe people want me to disappear. And I'm like, I can't give that to people. I can't give up on myself, and I can't give up on my dream. I still have so much more light and passion for this, and such a chase and drive. My light and my God told me, you got to keep going. So here's New Japan. Take your bags, go to Japan, and make one of your dreams happen. That happened, and then one more dream kept coming, and the thoughts with AEW happened. Then the connection just realigned, and it was finally perfect until I signed a contract with AEW, and it felt so right because I knew I could create more new dreams and memories for women's wrestling. Think about that for a minute, y'all. Think about the possibility, the idea that Mercedes Moné, never went to New Japan, and we never got that fantastic run in New Japan. Even though it was, 6 months or so that it lasted? That was good stuff. And think about the impact in which she's had on AEW. And I think if we're going to be talking about her tenure in AEW, I also think that you have to look at the entire time that she's been in AEW thus far. And she will likely be in AEW for many years to come. I cannot see how Tony Khan would sign her to a big money deal and it not be a 4 to 5 year deal, right? So I think she's got at least 3 more years left on her deal. And you have to look at it like this. Even though she first came in and she was very rough and she couldn't wrestle because she wasn't medically cleared, and she came in as a babyface and she came in with these wacky promos that didn't make a lot of sense and did not resonate with fans, she's able to take the bull by its horns and figure it out. Change what was the issue. Figure it out, change it, make it better, and go forward with it. If we did not have Mercedes Mone in AEW's women's division, I don't know what AEW's women's division would be like right now. Now, I understand that before she got here, you had your Britt Bakers, who was off television. And I understand that you had your Tony Storms. But think about the influx of talent around this time. So we had an idea, based off of various reports, that Mercedes Mone was at least AEW bound by mid-November. That she was already signed, okay? It wasn't confirmed, but we figured she was already signed by then. Going back even more, go back to the summer, like All In. She was in attendance. Everyone figured, okay, she's going to AEW. She may not have signed yet, but she's going to AEW whenever she is healed, okay? Heading into 2024, AEW made an effort to its women's division, and this is the impact that Mercedes Mone played into this promotion, of trying to sign some of the biggest names, the most promising names in pro wrestling. And look at the influx of talent that they've been able to use. Mariah May, Camille, and others have really, really helped out the women's division. Deonna Purrazzo signed with them. There was a lot of talent in which they're like, okay, we're going to bring in X, Y, and Z, or we plan to bring in X, Y, and Z, or we did bring in X, Y, and Z because we feel like our women's division can be up against WWE and compete and make it look legit. We can absolutely have a division that is money. And I believe AEW's been able to accomplish that. I may not agree with all of their booking decisions and philosophies when it comes to its women's division, but there's no doubt about it. Their women's division is very, very talented. And I think you have to give a lot of credit to Mercedes Mone for jumping ship from WWE to New Japan and New Japan to AEW and making the jump and making the land and making the splash in which she did in All Elite Wrestling.